everyone, it's Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we have to react and take a look at the kit and do a first look for Draelyn, the Scaled Scion. Alright, well, the Scion, that's a term for the player in Godforge. Actually, my CM job has me very busy the past, well, week since the alpha started. So busy continues, and yeah. I didn't even do a first look yet, so I am late to the party. But because I'm late to the party, I wanted to be able to give better information and have a little bit more of like an educated opinion. Why won't we zoom out here? There we go. It's weird. It doesn't like me. It never works. Okay, anyway. Yes, we wanted to have an educated opinion. I wanted to have an educated opinion. Before I just went through and read through the kit. You've already heard the kit, you've seen the kit, or you've had the opportunity to. Unless you're late to the party like me, then welcome to the late bus. Party bus? I don't know what it is. It's fine. Okay, but I did watch Destin's video because I really like his opinion on stuff, and it was quite fun. He had some great reactions to surprisingly amazing areas that this character can thrive in. But it's good to have it in my head now as we're about to go through these skills and everything to kind of get an opinion myself and see, do I agree with his assessments? And yeah, I will obviously, I'm going to link below Destin's video for Draelyn as a great suggested watch to see. And then you could see his opinion. Does he think she's a must pull? Or, I mean, amazing in some areas regardless? Or is it actually a skip? So, yeah, love the aesthetics for one. Draelyn is a Watcher and a Northerner. Defender with normal damage. Draelyn, the last Dragonborn of Emberfall, stands guard in shattered pyrite armor, wielding a scarred shield to protect the living. Her talent, Draconic Vigor, converts damage taken into healing for allies. By immolating her vitality, she unleashes holy radiance of healing. At death brink, Dragonblood reignites her life. She is the undying ember in scorched hands, a living bulwark, rekindled hope's flame. And I will read her last ember lore, so you don't have to, at the end of this video. Alright though, let's take a look at the details. So she's a tank defender with a similar range as Constance. We have healing, our single target heal, ally buff. Okay. Defense 3200, HP 25,000, cost of 18, block 3, 2.4 second attack interval, rage regen auto 14. Okay, pretty. Nothing stands out, right? Nothing's crazy there with like extra great stats. Talent. Damage scales off of HP. Well, that never hurts. Applies AoE damage reduction to allies within ultimate range. The ally AoE damage reduction is minus 30%. That's always helpful, especially with all this content lately that really needs that, so I love to see that. When allies in range take damage, it converts to her Draconic Vigor, and that's what was mentioned there. For every 10 instances of damage taken by allies in range, applies 1 stack of Draconic Vigor to the hero, up to 5 stacks. Alright. So, single target heal applies HP-based healing for 100% healing multiplier to 1 ally in range. When the hero blocks enemies, she strikes 1 blocked enemy, dealing 100% damage, and applies HP-based healing for 60 seconds, healing multiplier to 1 ally in range. And that obviously just restores HP based on the target and the caster's max HP. So extra healing to single target with her basic attack. The ultimate, Ancestral Oath, consumes all Draconic Vigor and heals herself and allies in range 1 time for 100% healing multiplier. Each stack of Draconic Vigor consumed increases the healing multiplier by 20% 40% of overflow healing converts to a shield lasting 10 seconds. You can see the adjustments here with the skills. We have, of course, a minus skill cost, extra multipliers added, an extra healing multiplier, and overflow healing as well. Overflow converted to a shield, I love. That was something that was always great with using Vortex early on, so it feels a little nostalgic there. I like to see that. And she is Northerner, which deals with shields, and Watcher, which provides extra healing, so completely in line, well faction aligned. So Scaled Shield, her passive, after casting the ultimate, applies final damage reduction to all allies within range, or sorry, to allies within ultimate range for 10 seconds. Oh yeah, because the ranges are different for the basic and the ultimate. So the final damage reduction is reduced, so final damage taken is reduced by 10%, only takes 90% damage. That can definitely come in handy. And the other passive, Pledge of Renewal, when taking fatal damage, consumes all Draconic Vigor, each stack of Draconic Vigor, restoring 20% HP. Trigger interval is 80 seconds. All right, so I guess it's another potential damage mitigation hero when you need a defense or a ground-based healer. And like, is her damage mitigation gonna be enough to take out someone else that you would have normally used? That's questionable because the range is different, right? It's very different range. But this is great because it brings this final damage reduction and the AoE damage reduction. Those are two different damage reductions that you can have both at the same time. So it might be a pretty solid choice for a lot of the content. I think Destin used her in Abyss and was able to use some quirky comps, but it's not like she's like the best character for Abyss overall. It's not going to be the only answer, but can she work? Probably. He used her in Malric Halls of Illusion, and that seemed like a really solid place to use her because you really need that ground units depending on which one you're doing. And then I think Gear Raid 2 was a pretty fun watch. I'm not going to spoil that one. That was an interesting watch. So I definitely suggest watching Dustin's video for that part if you haven't already. But all right. Awaken 1. The ultimate range is increased. After casting the ultimate, applies damage increase to allies within ultimate range. Ultimate range increases with an A1, so that would be like, I guess Dao Chan, is it? Who starts like Dolores and then it ends up bigger. That sort of thing. Adds a couple extra tiles around. So the damage... The damage increases a damage plus 25%, lasting for 10 seconds. That's nice. Okay, and that's different than like some of the other buffs, so that should be able to stack as well. Interesting. So like, would this character like replace a Constance? Probably not, because you're still on a good inspiration boost as well, right? I don't know. Oh boy, but I think it's gonna be more because this is truly a tank that also scales with HP and doesn't need attack-based stuff to make inspiration better. I think this just makes this is gonna be more versatile to be used in a lot of content as a real tank that's gonna survive in places that are really hard to survive, like Abyss or Titanic Ruins, or I think the Malric Halls of Illusion are pretty tough too. From what I've seen so far, I haven't done those yet. But Gear Raid 2 really needs high survivability and damage mitigation, so definitely a solid choice if you're missing some key heroes there. So, sorry, let me keep reading, but this is making me think about this makes you think about where you can really use her. So Awaken 2, all damage reductions plus 8%, even better, damn. Awaken 3, when casting the ultimate with 5 stacks of Draconic Vigor, permanently increases her max HP by 10%, can trigger up to 3 times. That's a lot of HP, which also affects her damage. So she's probably going to be one of those tanks that helps to clear out the stuff that gets by and not just let it sit there like Brokir and just collect. Always loved that. That was always really valuable in the early stages of AMR as well. Alright, in weekend 4, HP plus 1200. And in weekend 5, when the basic attack hits enemies, the healing multiplier for healing allies no longer decreases, and each basic attack restores her 1% rage. Okay. Alright. Oh man. I really did like what I saw in the video I watched. But it's hard to say, like, is she a must pull? I mean, she's gonna be a must pull if you are gonna be pulling on the other banner and you want a pity swap. If you are pulling on the exclusive banner and you choose your own and you don't get an exclusive early and you just have to get close to that pity anyway, then you might as well pity swap, hope to get her and go back to the other banner and then worry about getting multiple copies after. Because you want to maximize the amount of legendaries, and she's new and she's good and she's interesting. But, like, is she more important than getting a Kigiri or some of those limiteds? No. So she does fall at a weird time where people might just skip her entirely because they're just putting all their eggs on that one banner basket, hoping they get, or if you pull that other character, if you are pulling and you get like Kigiri early, you're just going to keep pulling on the other banner and try to get more copies of Kigiri, more than likely, if you're not already maxed. So I could see accidentally having to skip her banner because of that. However, if she has... This could be the situation where if you don't end up pity swapping, you throw some divines over here too. Because at least it does come with Talin. They did have some clarity in her... the way she is used, where she is considered both a platform and a ground unit. Or it's just a platform unit. Because that was the issue, right? Also considered a platform unit for the sake of Guild War and how the demon soldiers target her. Yeah, this is gonna be... I'm definitely gonna talk about that a little bit deeper in a separate video. Sorry for the tangent there, but I think she sounds amazing, and I totally get why he had fun using her in Gear Raid 2, and from what I've seen, the Malric Halls of Illusion, you really need the ground units for the map, and there you go. When you need a ground unit with a healing and more damage mitigation, sounds pretty perfect, but that doesn't mean like it's a must pull. I can see that. That makes sense. I don't think Destined thought it's like the greatest character in the world, but I think he was pretty impressed by her. But yeah, again, I'm gonna link that video. It's a fun watch if you really want to see her in action, if you haven't seen it already. Alright guys, I like the sound of her. I'm definitely gonna hope to get a copy. She seems great. And I hope to get her also because then that just leaves Narissa as my only missing hero still. And hopefully in the next nascent banner I can get a copy in the future. I don't know. Anyway, let's read the lore. She carries no torch for the past. She is the flame. Ymir. High in the sky-carved cliffs of Taya's eastern continent, there once stood Emberfall, a city of alabaster stone and fire-veined crystal, home to the Dragonborn, descendants not of Taya's colossal ancients, but of their small, more sapient kin. Humanoid in form and deeply attuned to time, the Dragonborn were guardians of balance, long-lived but mortal. Draelyn was born among them, quiet with bright scales and curious eyes, raised in the presence of fire-seers and scaled swordsmen. Yet, their kind defied natural order. Whether the Nether God sought dominion through death, it was the Dragonborn who clung fiercely to life, a tenacity not born of fear, but of purpose. When their priests bound themselves to flame, it was to arm themselves for the inevitable war, to protect the knowledge that must not be lost, Insulted by such defiance, the Nether God would answer with a fire of his own. Under the crushing weight of the Nether God's army, Emberfall was taken in a single night. The skies howled as the vessel of Acheron descended upon the city, its spires splitting like kindling. Dragonborn spirits were torn, screaming from bodies and consumed into the nether below, while crystal spires that once absorbed the sky's rays, powering the mighty metropolis, now lies smoldering in ruin. Yet there were survivors. Draelyn remembers only fragments, the weight of her mother's shield wrapping around her, a pulse of searing light. Then silence. Dust. A flickering breath. She woke beneath the rubble alone, scaled, dulled, name forgotten. No songs remained, no family, only a broken city and a feeble frame that would not stop shaking. In time, others came, scavengers, survivors, wanderers. She lived among them in the scattered remains of Emberfall's outskirts, now known as the Cinderspire slums. She tended wounds. She chased off beasts. She gathered bones from the ruins, learning their names in silence. Her armor is a patchwork, scraps of temple gates, broken helms, half-melted sigils. Her shield bears the crest of a house that no one remembers. To Mosh, she was a myth in motion, a half-dragon who drifts between lives, never quite belonging to any. Sometimes she dreams of fire, not destruction, but warmth. A hearth, a voice calling from somewhere deep in the rubble, a feeling she cannot quite grasp. She has begun returning to the ruins more often, not to rebuild, not to reclaim, but to listen, to touch the sun-warmed stone, and remember how it once felt to be part of something whole. She feels no great ambition, knows no great prophecy, and seeks no throne. Draelyn is not waiting for a purpose, only for clarity. She teaches when asked, protects when needed, and walks the forgotten path with quiet purpose. Though something still stirs beneath the ruins of Emberfall, she does not yet rush to awaken it. Whatever it is, she will meet it as she is now, steady, listening, and mending. Perhaps not as a hero, but as a lone ember that refused to flicker out. Should the Nether God return, he shall find that ember yet, burning bright.